Kanye West has built a reputation not only as one of the most influential musicians of his generation, but also as one of the most unpredictable public figures in entertainment. His career has been defined as much by his creativity as by his extravagant lifestyle, and the things he chooses to spend money on say just as much about him as the music he makes. Over the years, Kanye has amassed a collection of possessions that range from luxurious and futuristic to downright bizarre. Cars, jewelry, houses, even his own teeth. Nothing is off limits when it comes to his vision of what it means to live like Kanye West. That vision first took an unusual turn after his near-fatal car crash in 2002, which left his jaw wired shut and forced him to get replacement teeth. Where most people would settle for standard dental work, Kanye saw an opportunity to turn even his smile into a fashion statement. He replaced his bottom row of teeth with custom diamond-encrusted gold dentures worth tens of thousands of dollars. Later, he went even further, commissioning titanium dentures that cost close to $1 million. The unusual design made them look like he had wrapped foil around his teeth, but Kanye wore them proudly, proving that for him, style comes before convention. His obsession with rarity and exclusivity carried over into his love of shoes. At the 50th Grammy Awards, he unveiled a custom pair of Nike Air Yeezys designed specifically for his performance. The shoes cost him nearly $2 million and were never worn again. Kanye had hoped to resell them later for a profit, but after his reputation suffered from public controversies, he ended up selling them for a fraction of what he paid. The loss amounted to over $1 million, but for Kanye, the moment had already been worth it. The statement had been made, and his appearance was unforgettable. Music videos have also been a space where Kanye has shown his willingness to spend outrageous sums. In the video for Otis, he purchased a luxury Maybach worth $400,000 only to rip it apart and transform it into a makeshift post-apocalyptic vehicle. For Touch the Sky, he spent an entire million on elaborate stunts, including a sequence where he attempted to rocket over a canyon. When the video didn't win an award, Kanye openly complained that the awards show had lost credibility. His video for Stronger was even more ambitious, costing $1.2 million and borrowing heavily from the Japanese anime classic Akira. Each of these productions showed how committed Kanye was to creating unforgettable visuals, regardless of how much it cost. Fashion and appearances have always mattered deeply to Kanye, not just for himself, but also for his partners. While he was married to Kim Kardashian, he reportedly spent around $250,000 each year on a personal glam team for her, including a stylist, hairdresser, and makeup artist. His approach to fashion shifted again after he began dating Bianca Censori, with the two frequently spotted wearing unconventional and often minimal outfits. Whether he's dressing himself or influencing the wardrobe of those closest to him, Kanye continues to treat clothing as a form of personal art. His taste for extravagance extends most obviously to his vehicles. Kanye has owned one of the wildest collections of cars in celebrity history. Among them is a sleek black Formula One-style racer known as the Yeezy Mobile, capable of going from 0 to 60 in just over 2 seconds. He also owns luxury models like a Porsche Panamera and a Porsche 911 Carrera, alongside several Maybachs, including a custom SUV outfitted with red leather seats, television screens, and a surround sound system. At one point, his everyday car was a Lamborghini Urus, though the cream-colored matte finish he added divided opinions, and the vehicle eventually met an unfortunate end when his assistant accidentally crashed it. The same assistant also managed to wreck his Lamborghini Aventador, which had been worth $750,000. Beyond those, Kanye has had an Aston Martin DBS, a Lamborghini Gallardo, a Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, and a Bugatti Veyron that came from a collaboration with Hermès. The crown jewel of his car collection, however, is the Mercedes-Benz SLR Sterling Moss, one of only 75 ever made and valued at around $3.5 million. As if these supercars weren't enough, Kanye also bought military-grade vehicles, including a fleet of Sherp all-terrain trucks and even a Ripsaw EV2 tank, a machine more often seen in war zones than on city streets. Kanye's generosity extends to his circle of friends and family. He has given out cars as gifts, such as a Bentley truck for his longtime collaborator Sci-Hi the Prince, a Maybach GLS for Ayolat Bari after the rapper totaled his own vehicle, and most notably a custom Darts Prom Braun red diamond SUV for Kim Kardashian. That particular gift was valued at over $1 million, and true to Kanye's flair for the dramatic, was both enormous and bulletproof. Not all of his extravagant purchases have been for himself or his partners. For his daughter North's second birthday, Kanye reportedly bought a private island in the Caribbean. Rumors have swirled about what he intends to do with it. Some believe it could be turned into a theme park complete with roller coasters, while others think it will eventually hold a massive mansion designed for privacy. Considering Kanye's frequent desire to withdraw from the public eye, it would not be surprising if he also intends to use the island as his own retreat. That desire for privacy and focus was on full display during the creation of his Donda album. Rather than finish it in a traditional studio, Kanye rented out Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta and moved in. For 2 weeks, he lived in a bare-bones room inside the stadium, spending millions to essentially turn it into both a recording studio and a personal fortress. The setup looked more like a jail cell than a luxury apartment. But for Kanye, it was about creating the right environment to complete his tribute to his late mother. Kanye's taste in real estate is as expansive as his imagination. His first home in Los Angeles was a Hollywood Hills mansion with views of downtown, an aquarium installed in the bathroom wall, and a chandelier hanging over the bathtub. In New York City, he bought and combined 2 apartments in a high-end neighborhood, decorating them with minimalist and nearly colorless interiors. He later purchased land in California for a project called Yeezy Home, which featured dome-like houses inspired by Star Wars, intended as sustainable housing for the homeless. That project stalled due to permit issues, but it showed Kanye's ambition to expand beyond music and fashion into architecture. His properties have also included multiple plots of land in a private Calabasas golf community, bought so he could live close to Kim Kardashian, Kris Jenner, and Kylie Jenner. Together with Kim, he once owned a Bel Air mansion valued at $9 million, complete with gold-plated toilets, Swarovski crystal-covered refrigerators, and even luxury brand trash cans. More famously, Kanye purchased 2 enormous ranches in Wyoming: Monster Lake Ranch, which included stables, a saloon, a shooting range, a go-kart track, and a restaurant, and Bighorn Mountain Ranch, his largest property at nearly 7,000 acres, where he began constructing a 70,000 square foot amphitheater. He also briefly owned a Miami condo worth $14 million and spent over $57 million on a Malibu beach house designed as a concrete fortress. Renovations later reduced its value, but it remains one of his most striking purchases. The pinnacle of his real estate empire has been his Hidden Hills mansion, valued at around $60 million. Spanning 15,000 square feet, it includes children's playrooms with ball pits and miniature playgrounds, monochrome interiors stripped of almost all color, bathrooms with coin slot-style drains instead of sinks, and outdoor spaces with multiple pools and hot tubs. Even the beds were extravagant, with Kanye buying 6 imported Royal State models at more than $100,000 each. For all of his properties, Kanye has kept up one of the strangest routines of all: daily haircuts. Despite being mostly bald, he reportedly pays $500 for a trim every single day. Since adopting the habit in 2010, he has spent several $1 million just on keeping his hairline immaculate. Taken together, Kanye West's purchases show just how far he is willing to go to live life on his own terms. Whether it's turning his smile into $1 million piece of jewelry, driving around in a bulletproof SUV, buying entire ranches in Wyoming, or turning a stadium into his personal apartment, Kanye consistently chooses the extraordinary over the ordinary. For him, money is not just a tool for comfort or luxury, but a medium for expression. Every car, house, and piece of jewelry he buys is an extension of his persona. Larger than life, unpredictable, and impossible to ignore.